Alright folks, we're back, and I do apologise about the audio. I don't have my microphone and it is absolutely bucketing down. So, we are about to get this project underway, and I have spoken about this bike previously on the channel, but I've got like 11 people that watch my videos, so you're probably new here. We're on our way to pick up a battery for this thing to see if it even works. I have no idea if this bike's going to start, and it's going to look fairly familiar to some people if you have watched my videos, because I already own a bike very similar to this one. We've got this other one. We're going to go and see if it works, and then we're going to work out what we're going to do with it, because I don't really need two of the same bike, but I'm sure we can find out something interesting to do with it. Let's go get a battery and go from there. Alright, so we're back, we've got the battery, we are in the Does Garage headquarters. My garage. That's the old battery, is dead.
In the bin!
This is the new battery, it was cheap. I don't plan on using this bike a lot. I don't actually know if I'm going to use this bike at all. And what I mean by that, there's a very good motor in this bike. Well, I hope it's good. We're going to find out in this video, because I need to put that battery in it. This bike has been sitting for a long time. This bike only has about 3,500 kilometers on it, but it's not that new. I mean, it's still fairly modern. It's got injectors and stuff. The brakes are horrible, like they don't work at all. So I'm a little bit concerned. I have dropped the fluids and put new fluids in it because I don't want it to start with bad fluids in it. Anyway, good fuel, oil, etc. So I'm going to pop the battery in this, and fingers crossed it starts. But let me introduce you to the newest project on the channel. This is my KTM 690 SMCR. Now, I know what you're probably thinking, more supermoto footage. That's not the plan. I have a perfectly good Husky 701, which is the better version of this. They're the same bike, it doesn't matter. But I figured with the whole KTM going under or whatever's happening there, I figured it's a good time to bring this out and kind of make a decision on what we're going to do with this thing. But you guys get to put some input into this, because I don't really want this as a bike. I've already got this fully registered and perfectly good. I don't need another one. These motors are really good, and I would like to do something with this. Obviously I could turn it into a track bike, but I don't have enough time to do that stuff, so it's kind of a waste of a really good bike. I'd prefer to put this motor into something fun, or turn this into something ridiculous. We can turn it into a dirt bike, we can turn it into like a monster style thing, we can put the engine in a quad. I don't know, we can do something. You guys need to tell me what you want to see, and then I'll probably rip it out and do that. Now, as you guys can see, this thing's pretty dirty. It was definitely sitting for quite a few years before I took ownership, and then it did sit for another couple of years since I bought it, because I just didn't really have the time or need for it. But it was a good bike, it was really cheap because it was a bit of a barn find, if we're going to call it that, and it was too good to refuse. So I grabbed it and then it just did nothing. So far the only thing that's come from this bike is I did steal the titanium exhaust off it for the 701. No, they're not exactly the same fitment, but you can make them fit, because the pipe off that is now on this. But it's probably not staying on it. The only reason I did that was to seal up the engine to make sure nothing gets inside. And now it's time to actually do something with it. But before we decide what we're going to do with this engine, we obviously need to know if it works. So I'm going to pop the battery in, turn the key on. I'm not going to start it yet because my baby's asleep right there. You guys will see it in this video if it starts or not, but I'm not going to do it today, so I'm going to look different. Anywho, as you can see, the electronics work. The mice haven't destroyed it yet. I can't start it right now. I am going to do that in the morning. Let's give this thing a quick little tidy up, and then I'll show you guys this thing starting tomorrow morning. I swear, I hope it does.
Until the sun comes up.
Now I don't know about you guys, but this thing looks way better than I expected. Especially those wheels. They look brand new. It's been sitting outside for years and somehow it looks good. I don't know. I got lucky, but let's go find out if I actually got lucky or not.
One pair of pants later.
Alright guys, it's the next day and it's time to find out if this thing's actually going to run or if I've bought an expensive piece of junk that's going in the bin. I've put some fresh fuel in it. It does have oil that's good. Power. Fuel pump's working. I think it's in neutral. So that went much better than I expected. I am going to drop the oil again. I just put in like a bit of a running oil because I'm assuming there might have been a little bit of rust on the inside of the motor. This thing has been sitting for a long time. So I'm going to drain that oil, put some fresh stuff in it, fresh filters once again, make sure it's all good. It did take a little while to get up to oil pressure, so the oil light on the dash stayed on for a little bit, but it went away, which meant it got up to oil pressure. I think we're looking pretty good. There was no major noises, knocks or clicks. It does have really low kilometers on it, so only about 3,500, which is very low. I think this is a 2015 or 16, so it's 8-9 years old, maybe 10. I don't actually know, nor do I care. But it clearly hasn't done a lot. So there's definitely going to be some things I need to do, like the brakes are pulling all the way to the lever, like clutch. I'm going to just drain all those fluids, freshen it up, put some new tyres on it, because even though they look like they're new, they're going to be super hard. They're not going to be much good other than trying to slide around, which could be fun. If I use this as a bike, we are going to bring it back to life, and if it stays as a bike, it will remain a track bike or something along those lines. But I would like to do something much better than that. These motors are good, and I don't really have a need for another one of these, as I've already got the 701, like I said. So if you guys have got any good ideas as to what we can use this engine for, tell me below. I don't care. I don't have a lot of room here, but there's always a way if we can turn it into something bigger and better and crazier. I would love to put it into something like a go-kart, but be realistic. I don't have property. I can't use that anywhere, so it's just going to be a massive waste. So a rock crawler would be amazing. I can take it out with friends who've got 4-wheel drives. I reckon this motor in a rock crawler would be sick. So you guys tell me down below what you reckon I should do with this thing. Or should I just ride it? Turn it into a pure track bike? I don't know. I can do that as well, but I definitely don't want to register it. There's no point. Got the 701. But that's it, guys. Let me know what you think of this thing. Let me know if you expected that to happen or expected it to go bang. I don't know. It still might. There's still time. That's it, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Make sure you click that subscribe button, and we'll see you on the next one.